All right, guys, so the long sought after search warrant, okay, the most famous search warrant in America right now, that reveals why the FBI decided to raid Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago looking for top secret classified documents, okay? Documents that the Washington Post claims are related to nuclear information, okay? That warrant has been released, and I've read the warrant. I've read a whole lot about this situation and what's going on here, and I'm gonna tell you guys up front, okay? The more I read, the more convinced I become that this is a last-ditch, desperate effort from the establishment, mainly the Democrat Party, and some of the elite Republicans at the top, like Mitch McConnell, to keep Trump from running for office, okay? They're trying to get rid of Trump once and for all, and we all know, guys, how many times they've tried to do this, okay? Ever since the man declared he was running for president, they've had investigation after investigation after investigation into the man, impeachment after impeachment, and they've all failed, okay? They've all failed. The latest one being the January 6 hearings, right? That failed. Because a lot of this stuff really is about public perception, okay? It's about making the public think that President Trump is legitimately a criminal who should be disqualified from holding the office of the President of the United States. January 6 hearings did not move the needle at all, okay? And it's no coincidence that now that they're over, now that that Hollywood production's over, right? We haven't heard anything about any charges from the DOJ or anything like that. Now all of a sudden we have this. Okay, oh, Trump had a beef with the National Archives organization, right? And all of a sudden, you know, they were cooperating, and then that escalated to an FBI raid. Okay, how does that happen? Well, it happens because, again, this was plan what? I would call it plan B, but the reality is it's plan what? Z, okay? Because there have been so many investigations before this to try to disqualify Trump from office that have failed, that this is just another part of that. And who am I to believe otherwise, right? Why would I have any reason to believe otherwise, considering how everything else was a witch hunt, okay? The Steele dossier was fake. The Mueller investigation came up with nothing, right? The impeachment inquiries came up with nothing. The January 6 hearings, nothing, right? So who am I to believe that this is any different? Okay, so that being said, again, I told you guys, I read the warrant. I read a whole lot about this, and I'm going to explain to you guys what I believe this is going to come down to, okay? But again, with that being said, before I get into it, I just want to say, disclaimer here, I'm not an expert in this stuff. I'm just giving you a layman's understanding of this, okay? This is just my understanding of it. I am not an expert, right? So take what I say with a grain of salt when it comes to this stuff, because this is incredibly complicated. There's a whole lot of legal stuff going on here that I just simply don't know, right? So with that being said, you know, I'm just warning you off the top, okay? Before I get into this. But let's go ahead and read about this. Former President Donald Trump has been investigated for a potential Espionage Act violation and possible obstruction of justice, according to the unsealed warrant for the unprecedented FBI raid of his Mar-a-Lago home. The search warrant, unsealed Friday afternoon, cited 18 U.S. Code 793, part of the Espionage Act, related to gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information. Despite its name, many of the law's provisions don't relate specifically to espionage. All right, guys, so I just want to say here real quick, this is why I believe this is a part of a political witch hunt. Again, this had been a beef between President Trump and the National Archives team. The Washington Post is saying that, well, Trump had documents related to nuclear information. Well, if that was the case, you would think that this would have happened a long time ago, right? If that was a part of the speculation in regards to what documents Trump had, you would think important documents like that, they're not waiting a whole year, which basically that's how long this situation has been going on. They would have waited a whole year to actually go and get those documents, right? If that is what he had, okay? So again, I think this is a part of Plan Z here, in the sense that, well, January 6th failed. We can't say he's an insurrectionist, right? So now let's try to make the public think that he's a traitor, Okay, and we're going to go after these documents that we know that he took with him from the White House to Mar-a-Lago. We're going to go after these documents and say that, well, this is espionage, right? We're going to try to investigate him for espionage. And again, because, the average American person is not really all that informed, they're going to think that, oh, this has something to do with Trump being a traitor to this country. Nuclear information, espionage. Is he selling secrets to Russia, right? This is all a part of a smear campaign to once again try to tie Trump to Russia. Now, again, is that what is officially going to be said by the DOJ and the government? No. But that's the story that the media is going to try to spin. Again, a lot of this stuff is not about whether or not they actually are going to charge Trump, whether they're actually going to throw him in jail, whether they're actually going to keep him from running for president. A lot of it is about the midterms. It's about 2024. It's about public perception, right? And that's what it's about. This is why, again, it took so long for them to do this, right? And it's not a coincidence that it happened after January 6th. Those hearings were done, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is Plan Z is because this statute right here, even though it says, right, if he's convicted, okay, of the crime, that he will be barred from holding office, right, the office of the president, that's not going to stand up constitutionally, right? Because the Constitution, outside of the 14th Amendment, the only requirements that they have to be president is like what? Age, natural born citizenship, and residency. That's it. And any other requirements outside of that would be unconstitutional, right? Like Congress or states cannot add more requirements to be president of the United States. So technically, let's say they actually put Trump in jail. Trump could still run for president from the jail cell. He could still technically be president of the United States. Okay, there's nothing barring him, again, outside of the 14th Amendment, right? That could keep him from running or disqualify him from being president of the United States. In the 14th Amendment, what I'm talking about has to do with a clause that a lot of people don't know about. The same clause they tried to get with Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is that, well, if you were found guilty of staging an insurrection, right, or rebelling against the United States, they have that clause in there because of the Civil War to keep Confederates from basically running for president and holding public office anymore and gaining power. Basically, that clause would keep Trump from running for president, and that's why they focus so hard on the January 6th stuff, right? That's why they kept calling Trump an insurrectionist, because if they could actually find him guilty of inciting an insurrection, that would actually disqualify him from being president. Right? Now that has failed, okay, this is now Plan Z to say, hey, well, you know what? We can't really stop you from running for president, but we can throw some espionage accusations at you and really, really, really try to sway public opinion and maybe even try to fight it out in court as regards to whether or not you can actually run for president, even though I think ultimately it won't hold up. All right, especially with a conservative Supreme Court. Nah, right? That's not going to work. This is actually going to keep Trump from running for president. Again, this is all about public perception. The warrant also pointed to 18 U.S. Code 2071 on concealment, removal, or mutilation generally, and 18 U.S. Code 1519 on destruction, alteration, or falsification of records in federal investigations and bankruptcy. The latter relates to potential obstruction of justice. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart ordered the warrant to be unsealed after the Justice Department told the court that Trump wasn't objecting to it being made public. The warrant described Mar-a-Lago as a mansion with approximately 58 bedrooms on a 17-acre estate. It said the location to be searched were the 45 office along with all storage rooms and all other rooms or areas within the premises used or available to be used by the former president of the United States and his staff, and in which boxes or documents could be stored. The property to be seized included all documents constituting evidence of violations of the listed criminal statutes, including any key documents with classification markings, along with any boxes containing that information and other containers found or stored together with those records. The FBI was also looking for any information regarding the retrieval, storage, or transmission of national defense information or classified material, as well as any government and or presidential records created from Trump's first day in office through President Joe Biden's inauguration. Yeah, so basically, if you read the warrant, right, this warrant is not very specific. Okay, in regards to what they were looking for. It was a kind of a blanket warrant in the sense where they were just like, look, just remove any boxes or any stuff that we think is connected to classified material, right? Material that we basically don't want Trump to have, right? Government documents we don't want them to have, you can just remove it. They weren't looking for anything specific. Again, this is why I say that this is a hit job, right? Because again, it's one thing for them to say, we're looking for this specific document, or these are the set of specific documents we're looking for. No, that wasn't it. It almost seemed like they just wanted to go in there and to take documents that they didn't want Trump to have, okay? Despite their classification status, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. The FBI said it also intended to seize any evidence of the knowing alteration, destruction, or concealment of any government or presidential records, or of documents with classified markings. The unseized records also described the 46 items that the FBI said it had seized, accompanied by Trump lawyer Christina Bob's acknowledgement signature at 6:19 p.m. on Monday. The items seized included 27 boxes, various classified TS top secret, SCI sensitive compartment information documents, 4 items the FBI described as miscellaneous top secret documents, 3 dubbed miscellaneous top secret documents, 2 labeled miscellaneous confidential documents, and 1 confidential document. Other records the FBI seized were the executive grant of clemency, Robert Jason Stone Jr., info read president of France, 2 binders of photos, and a handwritten note. Trump spokesperson Taylor Bontrich said, quote, the Biden administration is in obvious damage control after their botched raid where they seized the president's picture books, a handwritten note, and classified documents and declassified documents. He called it outrageous. All right, so here's the thing. You guys have a gist of what they seized. I think that just according to the information we have here, the Washington Post's allegations that they seized nuclear documents is looking kind of ridiculous at this point. There's no evidence to suggest that any of this stuff was actually nuclear information. Again, this is why I think it was a part of a hit job being coordinated, again, by the establishment in the media. But here's what it's going to come down to, okay? I already told you guys that this can't be used to actually keep Trump from running for office, which is why this is Plan Z. In regards to whether or not he's going to be charged, honestly, I really don't know. Okay. Are they going to give him the same benefit of the doubt that they gave Hillary? Who knows? But if he is charged, then what it's going to come down to, or what it could possibly come down to, what his defense is, what President Trump's defense is that, well, I declassified all these documents. All these documents are declassified because as President of the United States, I have the power to declassify these documents at will. Okay. There's no other authority above him when it comes to the power to declassify information, right? And because Trump said that this is declassified, therefore it is declassified. Now, the argument against that is that, well, there's actually a formal process. Like, you can't just say that the documents are declassified and then it's declassified. Apparently, it has to go through the process of actually changing the markings on the documents to say this is declassified. Now, again, whether or not that formal process is actually the process, the official process, again, that's up in the air. We really don't know. Okay, but what Trump's defense would be is that, yeah, as President of the United States, if I say a document is declassified, therefore it is declassified. Okay, which would make sense considering how he is the President of the United States and he has to have conversations with foreign officials about things that are probably classified information, and it would be a pain to have to go through a super formal process every time this dude was to discuss classified information with a foreign, government or official or something like that. That would be a pain. So to me, it seems like the president probably can informally declassify certain materials. Now, some legal experts are saying that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, well, even if Trump can just informally declassify these documents, there's still, accusations and charges here related to things that don't necessarily have to do with, the classification of the documents, and also the Espionage Act predates the classified/declassified labeling system, right? That is what, some people are arguing to say that, well, it doesn't really matter. However, again, the point is this. The reason why this is happening, make no mistake, is that they know that there's nothing else they can do to actually keep Trump from running in office. So if there's somehow, some way they can paint Trump as some type of traitor, okay, they can, potentially even throw him in jail, even though they know he can still run for president. Public perception for them, they would sway public perception to the point where even people that's on the fence, that don't like Biden, right? They hate the economy, would say, well, this guy's a traitor, right? He committed espionage, okay? He's also in jail. I just vote for Biden instead of voting for that guy, right? Instead of voting for a criminal. Even though technically criminals can't run for office, right? I think that's what's going on here. Will that happen? I don't know. But we will see. Okay, we will see. Regardless, I think this is a hit job. I believe that Trump did declassify these documents. I think that this is just something that they're taking the opportunity to seize upon because the writing's on the wall. Trump's about to declare he's running for president, and it looks like Biden is definitely going to lose in 2024, considering how bad he's doing. And again, this is a desperate attempt to try to sway the midterms and to potentially sway 2024. That is what this is. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.